You're listening to The Mountain Spirit, a podcast of Christian Appalachian Project, where we share inspirational stories of faith, service, and compassion. I'm a firm believer that we're all connected by our shared humanity, and that finding that intersection sometimes just means having a conversation. Today we get to hear from Lauren McCoart, Executive Director of Prestonsburg Tourism. There's a website called Visit Eastern Kentucky, and it welcomes visitors to the region of riches to create wonderful memories. On this site, it tells us we're invited to discover a region whose unsurpassed natural beauty, varied outdoor recreation, friendly small towns, and fascinating folk culture and heritage beckon the visitor to explore and experience Appalachia in a variety of ways. This might include a stop in a quaint historic town, or a chance to marvel at the imaginative and talented work of mountain folk artists. You can shop unique stores for antiques and locally made crafts, or take in a performance at exceptionally entertaining venues for a toe-tapping evening of entertainment. They also say that there's scrumptious food that can be expected at every meal, including the best country-style home cooking found anywhere. That's a lot for one region to offer, so that's why we're excited today to talk to Lauren to find out about the area where she works to promote. So hey Lauren, welcome to the show.
Hey Tina, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Oh, we're so excited to have you on today, especially in your new position. So I know that the podcast is produced by Christian Appalachian Project, and we don't always have a lot of folks associated with CAP, but today we get a special treat because we get to find out about Prestonsburg Tourism, and you have some special connections to CAP. So can you tell us a little bit about your CAP connections?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and I always knew about CAP. You know, they donated a lot to our church, family, neighbors. Once I graduated college, I ended up working for Christian Appalachian Project in their church relations program. So I worked there for about 2 years, a little over, I think, and just fell in love with it even more. I got to learn a little bit more about what CAP does, not just in the community that I grew up in, but through all Appalachia. So it just made me fall in love with it more, and I'm still thankful to continue to support you all. And I'm just so thankful that you guys asked me to be here.
Why don't we delve into your new role, but tell us a little bit about where you went to school, when you went to college, and what brought you back home.
Yeah, so I grew up in a very small town, Van Lear, Kentucky, home place of Loretta Lynn. Yeah, I grew up there. My family still lives there. So after I went to high school at Johnson Central in Paintsville, then I decided to go on the other side of the state to Western Kentucky University and majored in broadcast journalism. So I came back after graduation in 2018 and lived in Hazard and worked for their local news station there, WIMT. And actually, I remember doing a story with Christian Appalachian Project with Owen. And he was like, if you ever want to work here, just let it holler at us. And I was like, okay. And so after, I loved broadcasting, I loved telling stories, but I wanted to be on the other side. I wanted to be creating the stories and being able to help others instead of telling the stories. So I'm very grateful for my time at WIMT, because without that, I would have not probably worked for Christian Appalachian Project. So that's kind of how I ended up. I worked in their philanthropy department, met you through there, and met a lot of great people that not only worked there, but, received services or donated to CAP too. So I'm so grateful and will always be CAP's number one cheerleader. But that's kind of how I got started with CAP.
And then how did you get back home? What brought you back home?
The mountains are calling, I must go. I loved Eastern Kentucky. And I think because working at WIMT and with Christian Appalachian Project, it gave me a whole new outlook on the area. When I was younger, I was just wanted to get out and wanted to leave. And then when I did, I just wanted to get back home, And now I feel like I'm at the point in my life that I can help this community grow in different ways. And so, I just wanted to come back and make a difference. I know not everyone wants to come back here, but I'm just grateful, that my family is still here. So I'm very close with my parents. and my sister and my niece and nephew as well. And so I'm just very thankful that I'm able to have a good paying job and being able to stay around here.
So can you tell us a little bit about your new position and what excites you about your role?
Yeah, so I actually just started with Prestonsburg Tourism a little over a month ago. So I'm
Brand new.
pretty new, brand new here, exactly. But Van Leer is actually just about 15 to 20 minutes from Prestonsburg. So I grew up going to dance lessons here, going out to eat, going to church, different things. So even though the seat of Johnson County is Paintsville, I spent a lot of time in Prestonsburg, and this job became available. And I knew I just wanted to be closer with my family. I was in Pikeville, which isn't too far away either. But yeah, this job came open, and I see so much. There's a lot of potential in Prestonsburg, but they've already done a lot of great things. And I just know that this town is able to continue to grow. And so I'm just thankful, that they trusted me to be a part of that. And I'm just very excited to be here. It's a new job, so I'm kind of all over the place right now. But once I get, my feet settled, I think I will be able to do with my wonderful team here. I couldn't do anything without them. And this community wants the greater good for their town and has the driving force to get that done. So I'm just so overly blessed to be a part of this.
That's super exciting. So we'll have to have you back when you've been there and.
Oh, yeah, maybe I'll know a little bit more. Right now, I'm like, what am I doing? But no, I have, a wonderful support system here. So
yeah, and you also came from your position in Pikeville. You were doing tourism there as well. So you're not brand new to tourism. Just
no, yeah. Yeah, I was the assistant director in Pikeville for a couple of years, and I'm so grateful for my time there as well. I learned so much from them, and that's what I tell everyone. I think Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and Paintsville, all three of them are together, and we work better together than apart. Since I grew up in Paintsville, lived in Pikeville for a little bit, and now here, I feel like a lot about the 3Ps is what we call ourselves. So we definitely work better together than apart.
So we're going to actually ask you to kind of maybe tell us a little bit about those 3Ps. So for people who may not be familiar with Prestonsburg or the area, can you tell us a little bit about the city and what's special about the area?
Yeah, so Prestonsburg is a small town. It's like little small town USA. When you think of a Hallmark small town, you can picture Prestonsburg for sure. It has a little over 3,400 people here, I believe, in the city limits. But there's a lot to do in such a small area. We have a beautiful 18-hole, one-of-a-kind golf course that sits up on our mountain. It's Stonecrest. It's actually from an old strip mine. Once they got done stripping it, instead of just leaving it there to sit, the city took it over, or some people took it over and built houses, built a big tourism community up there. There's golf courses, there's soccer fields, baseball fields, an equine center, all up on this mountain. It is beautiful. I took one of my friends up there the other day, and they're like, this is one of a kind. This is insane. You can see miles and miles, and it just all around. And it's all because of where they stripped that area for coal mining. And yeah, so now we get to reuse it and make it kind of like a little tourism destination.
What is the name of it again?
It's called Stonecrest Golf Course.
There you go. Yeah.
And it's not just your average golf course where it's just a straight shot. There's a lot of challenges to it since it's on a mountain, Yeah. You're hitting from all kinds of different levels. We were actually in a golf scramble the other day, and I'm not a big golfer. I haven't golfed since I was in 7th grade. So I didn't do too well, but I had fun. And my team, we were the cheerleaders of the group basically for everyone else. So yeah, it's really beautiful. And the sunsets, and they actually just added a new thing. It's similar to Topgolf, if anyone's ever been to Topgolf. It's a driving range, but it will track how far your ball goes and kind of play it all back on the TV screen. And then they'll bring you out food and drinks and stuff, and you can just sit back and friends or family or by yourself even. It's really relaxing and just hang out at the driving range. But yeah, that's brand new. there's a lot of like potential up on that hill, and they've already executed so many great things. But yeah, I'm excited to live close. Maybe I'll take up golf. I don't know.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you want to have fun this summer while saving money for college? Be a summertime superhero as a camp counselor with Christian Appalachian Project at one of our 2 beautiful camps. You'll have a great time and make a difference in the lives of kids in Eastern Kentucky. Our camp counselors have a blast outside boating, creating arts and crafts, and playing games with our campers. The kids love the activities, but what they remember most about camp are the volunteers who cared enough to spend their summer with them. While you're here, you'll earn an educational award that you can use towards college or trade school, and other benefits too, like a financial stipend. Email volunteer@chrisapp.org. That's volunteer@CHRISAPP.org or text 859-797-3059 to learn more. We can't wait to hear from you.
I love to eat and I love good Southern cooking. And so if someone's driving through, or for local folks, where's a place that you love to hang out and get a good meal?
Well, it depends, I guess, on what kind of meal you're looking for. I mean, all our restaurants are like top notch, really, they are. But I guess my favorite Southern cooking meal is probably Billy Ray's. They have the best mustard greens I've ever had. I'm not even joking. I am not even joking. Their mustard greens, I mean, my tongue slaps my brain. It's the best, I swear. But yeah, they have a lot of good like home cooked meals there. So,
and the counter with all the cakes and pies.
Honey, you won't leave hungry when you come to Eastern Kentucky. That is a one thing guaranteed. You will not leave hungry here.
And if you do, it's your own fault, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Another good place that I like that just reopened is called Lizzie B's. And basically, it's kind of like a Hawaiian / Appalachian type restaurant, but it's delicious. Oh my gosh, it's one of the best, I think. And it's very unique inside too.
Like the decor and all that.
Yeah, the decor is very Hawaiian and stuff, but then you'll like see a couple like Appalachian delicacies on the menu as well, and so it's really neat to see. But they also serve coffee. But yeah, there's a lot of great restaurants. I mean, those I just named 2, but honestly, we have like Dairy Cheer, Made to Crave, like all kinds of good stuff. Star City Cafe, ice cream stores, the Jenny Wiley State Park has a restaurant. I mean, there's a lot of good food here. And trust me, you'll find something really good. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, we have a lot of good food. And if not, I mean, go knock on someone's mama's door and they'll cook you a meal. That's the thing about here. Like, you'll eat, even if you don't want to go to a restaurant, you can go to someone's house and listen, they'll cook you up something nice. I swear. It's crazy how like kind people are here. It's funny.
So that's probably another one of the hidden gems. Is just people are just nice.
Yeah,
that's super nice, and just come on in and hey, sit down and pull up a seat.
Yeah, when I worked for Christian Appalachian Project, I remember we had some people from Texas come in, and I was driving them around, and I'm stopped at my parents' house. And I was like, come on. I was like, they'll feed us while we're here. And so sure enough, my mom made like, a little spread for everyone. And they're like, this is crazy. Like, you can't just do this. And my mom said, who are these people that you're bringing over? And I was like, they're from Texas. They're nice. I promise. That's the type of people that are around here,
So what does the future look like for tourism in East Kentucky?
It's bright. The future is bright for tourism for sure. Since the coal industries went away, we haven't really found anything to replace as many jobs as the coal mining industry. But now tourism is the 3rd largest employer behind school systems and healthcare in our region right now. And so I think, that will continue to grow. We have a beautiful, beautiful area that we live in. And I don't know, I always call Eastern Kentucky just the best kept secret, Because not many, I mean, people are always like, why are you going there? Why do you live there? You know, but once they visit, they're like, okay, we get it. I think with especially the people that I have like looked up to, my mentors, they're like big advocates for this area. So I think that is continuing to grow, and more people in their 20s and 30s are getting on board now and wanting to help make a better area. So I feel like definitely the future is bright for tourism, and I'm just so thankful that, you know, I am in the position to help this area grow.
Yeah. Is there a trade-off though between inviting like outsiders into a place that's like hometowny and quaint, and you know, economic development piece of it? And if so, how do you plan to maintain the balance so that you keep the small town, like that small town feel, but you also invite people to come and be a part of that without changing the culture, if that question makes sense?
Yeah, I was actually in a conversation about this recently. We're not looking to become Gatlinburg or, you know, even Asheville now has grown like crazy. We still want that small town feel, you know, and that's what I think a lot of visitors love about this area, which obviously we want our visitors to come here because tourism is how we get our money is through transient tax, so through hotels and campgrounds, and then through restaurant tax. So that's how we get our money to promote the area. So obviously we want people to come. Usually I think the average is like 3 to 4 days here people stay. We want them to keep coming back, but it's a hard balance to find, honestly, because you want a lot of visitors, but then you don't want it so overly crowded, which I think we've done a great job. But to get money to continue to promote and to build more things in the area here, you know, I just want a better community for the people that live here. And I think how we do that is to show it off, to get that outside dollar, because right now all our dollars are just fluctuating inside our area. So if we can get that outside dollar in here, then that will help our community grow. So that's why, you know, we do what we do, is to try to get that extra income instead of just the same old, same old. We want our community to grow, to be a better place to live.
Yeah, and I love how you talked about Paintsville and Prestonsburg and Pikeville all working together and being stronger together. And there's so many beautiful things in all of those places. I remember the first time going to Pikeville and going downtown, I was like, oh my gosh. I just think people would be so surprised. It was just like walking downtown. There's just like so much richness in the cultural things, I'm sure festivals and all those. And I just think people would be surprised if they were like thinking like, let me try a place that I haven't maybe been before in Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like once we get people here, they fall in love. That's not my worry at all. You know, it's getting people here, you know, because they're all the time like, well, what's in Eastern Kentucky? You know, they're just, why visit there? Why not go to Florida? Or why not go to Myrtle Beach or wherever? Like, why Eastern Kentucky? But once they get here and meet the people and see the beauty, then they fall in love, and then they continue to come back. So we just got to get them hooked here. That's the thing. But yeah, I tell everyone, and I think we have good leadership in this area for quite a while now that is not trying to fight against other communities. We can work together to make a better region instead of just one off and just wanting to better your own community, you know, because they don't know. People, when they visit, they don't know where they're at, and they don't really care about the county city lines. You know, they just want things to do and a good experience. And so people that I work with in other counties and cities, they are all for that. And I feel very thankful that we have good people in our area to want to continue to grow the region and not just selfishly grow their town.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Your generosity has a direct and positive impact in the lives of people in need in Appalachia every day. It is the unwavering support of faithful friends like you that make this work possible. Many of our supporters are beginning to plan and envision what kind of legacy they want to leave to support the causes that are near and dear to their hearts. CAP is happy to provide a safe and easy experience for people to create a will and support CAP through non-cash gifts. Through our partnership with Free Will, CAP offers our donors the ability to create a will online and alter it at no charge. Our partnership with Free Will also includes their Smart Giving Suite, which allows donors to give through their IRA, donor advised funds, and stock online, in addition to creating a will for free. In recent years, Appalachia has faced unrelenting challenges, including the pandemic, inflation, and back-to-back natural disasters. You can make a life-changing impact and leave a legacy of hope in Appalachia. To learn more about non-cash giving opportunities, please visit christianapp.org/more ways to give.
So I know that there's probably lots of people who have never visited Eastern Kentucky or Appalachia, and you're from the area. So if you think about it, I think a lot of people have stereotypes about Appalachia. If there is a stereotype that just drives you crazy and you're like, I would really love to correct that of how people think of the area, what would that be?
Probably that people think that, we are dumb hillbillies that are just lazy and that are just closed-minded, basically. We have these motor coach groups that come from all over to tour our area and stay with us. And a lot of them don't know about the history of coal mining and how, we had one of the largest coal mining projects in the country. A lot of coal came from Eastern Kentucky, so that produced a lot of money, which back in the 30s and 40s, people from the north came down and bought people's property for very low, because they didn't know they were sitting on millions and millions of dollars of coal. And so they bought it for a very low price. And these families were very thrilled because it was a few $1,000s, and so they thought they hit the jackpot. But it was actually these people from up north that came and took advantage of these people. Coal mining was great for our community at the time, but the coal mining operators kind of made these little towns and paid them in script instead of cash. And so what script is basically it's their money. It's like the coal industry's money that you can only spend at their company stores. Each script is about 3/5 of a dollar, if I'm not mistaken. So it's less than $1, and instead, so people were obviously taking the script instead of cash, and that's kind of what caused generational poverty in the area, is because they didn't have actual U.S. dollars to pass down to their families. And so now I can see why people around here are a little jaded over that, because, they've trusted people in the past and they got taken advantage of. That's why there's so much generational poverty here, is because of that situation.
I remember the first time, I probably was Owen, that talked about script, and you're like, that's like paying people with monopoly money.
Exactly.
You can't use it, you can't put it in a bank, you can't invest it, you can't do anything. You can only use it in the store where the company that owns it. It just was the whole part of it was just so crazy. And if you think about a company town or a company where the teachers are brought in by the coal company, the doctors, everything was centered around that. And it was just well, how could, and then if the coal company goes out of business and all that just goes away, what are you left with? If the whole town was built around this company and then it's gone, you lose not just the job, you lose all the other things that went with that.
Yeah, and that's what happened after these coal companies were finished with mining. They just left, and then these people were left, with a ton of script they can't use elsewhere. So people just don't understand that. And once you tell people, then they're like, oh, we understand now, because obviously CAP, I think, does a great job with helping people fix their homes or remodel their homes. But there's still, a lot, they can only do so much. A lot of people ask well, why don't you guys do anything about these abandoned homes and all this. And I was like, look, people around here are still trying to get clean water. We have a lot to prioritize before we can get to the beautification of things. Even though like this area is already so beautiful, there's just certain spots people ask about. And I'm like, you know, that's just why. That's the truth. And I think a lot of people just don't hear that and they don't know about it. And so I think just educating more people about Appalachia and the history of it instead of just like, oh, they're dumb rednecks, they don't know anything and they did this to themselves, but that's not the case whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Lauren.
And I'm glad that, I know tourism is all like happy and this is all the great things we have to offer, but I love like telling the educational side of Eastern Kentucky as well, because I think once people hear that, they don't think that stereotype anymore. And then they can go and tell their friends and family from wherever they're from, And so hopefully little by little, once we get that story out there, people will stop like with the stereotypes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks a lot. Now that you're back, what do you appreciate the most about being from Eastern Kentucky?
Honestly, I like the slow pace here. I do. I don't get in a rush for anything. And these are my people. These are my people here, I have learned from just traveling all over the country and stuff. And like, I just got back from Baltimore not too long, like a couple days ago. And I mean, it was stressful how like fast paced everything was there. And even that's not even the most fast paced like city in America, but it was overwhelming. And I was with my friend Rebecca and we were walking down one of the streets and just kind of shopping. And I was like saying hi to everyone that passed by because I'm just used to that, and she like pulled me off to the side and was like, you don't have to say hi to everyone we pass by. Like, she's like, it's not rude that you don't say hi. People think you're weird, Lauren. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I just love the slow pace and the kindness of the people here. Like, I mean, it's one of a kind. And my friends like coming here to visit. And they live in Nashville, Louisville, Cincinnati, everywhere. And like they like coming here because of the people and the kindness that everyone shows them.
Oh, I can appreciate it. You have a kindred spirit. That's what happened to. I went to school in D.C. and yes, I was like, "Hey, I'm from a small town in North Carolina," and I was like, "Hey," and people like look at you like, "What's wrong with you?"
They look at you like, "Why are you speaking to me?" And I thought I was like, well, "They're being rude."
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, well, they're being rude. She's like, no, they just think you're weird. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's definitely different. I'm proud of this area and proud to say that I'm from here. And I think for a long time, a lot of people were embarrassed to say they're from Appalachia. But I think that whole tune has changed. And I'm telling everyone now, I'm like, listen, it's cool to be Appalachian. Get on board, because I don't know how, I hope this wave will continue to run. But you never know. So I'm grateful that I feel like I'm in a good position now to continue to run with it. But yeah, it's cool to be Appalachian now. And I'm very happy about that.
There you go. Lauren, it has been a pleasure having you on. This show just goes by so quick.
I know. That's what I was about to say. Well, what else do you have?
I'm already to my last question. We always ask everyone this question. Our last question is the mission statement, which you already know. Christian Appalachian Project is building hope, transforming lives, and sharing Christ's love through service in Appalachia. Hope, transformation, love, and service. Which one of those resonates with you the most when you think of Appalachia?
Probably love, because the people here are so kind and they love you. And when they say, oh, I love you, be careful, they mean that. It's not just they actually mean that. And I think that's so different from anywhere else. And if you're an outsider, they'll love you just the same. If you're kind and want to learn, then we'll be kind, to you and tell you and show you the area. So I definitely think Eastern Kentucky embodies love like no other. And so, yeah, that's probably that's my answer.
Awesome. Lauren, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I was tickled pink when you asked me. Like, I really was. Like, this is just such an honor. And I'm so glad to see CAP continue to thrive. It was already thriving so much when I was there. And the fact it continues to grow. I just had coffee with Guy Adams the other day, and I was amazed the work that you guys continue to do. And so thank you for having me, and thank you guys for supporting Eastern Kentucky and Appalachia the way that you do. I mean, really, you guys have made them one of the most biggest impact, I think, in our area. So thank you guys for doing what you all do.
Awesome. And congratulations on your new position.
Thank you. Maybe I can come on a little bit later when I know what the heck is going on. I'm still trying to learn.
We can go about Billy Ray's or Lizzie B.
Yeah, we'll do a live podcast from Billy Ray's.
So great place to eat. Both of them, I'm eating at both of them. Billy Ray's said every time I go, I have the liver. And I know it's like gross, but oh my God, it is so good. On some mashed potatoes, some dark brown gravy, fried green tomatoes. It's the best. You got to check it out.
Yeah. Well, at Jenny Wiley State Park, they have a big buffet every day, and they have catfish. Fried catfish every day, and it is thebomb.com. So yeah, if you ever want to do a live remote podcast from anywhere in Prestonsburg, holler at me, and I'd be glad to join.
Get the hookup.
Absolutely.
Our guest today has been Lauren McCoart, Executive Director of Prestonsburg Tourism. We hope you've enjoyed the show and will check out next week's episode. Tell your friends to check us out too. You can follow the work of Christian Appalachian Project on all social media channels. Find the show online at christianapp.org/podcast or anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode, and we'll see you next week.